Actually, I wanted to ask you guys this question before I go live. So I want to buy a phone with a high quality camera to record my videos. Some people suggested iPhone, any type of iPhone like iPhone 13 Pro Max or some other type of iPhone. Some other people suggested Samsung S24, 25. Um, some people suggested another brand altogether, like Google Pixel, for example. Another person said Honor, I think a version of Honor that uses AI. And I want a, a phone with a better quality camera than the external camera that I use, because I use an external camera, which is attached to my desktop. So I want to stop using it, and I want to have a phone. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for. A phone with a built-in camera, good camera. Uh, Hold on. Okay. So a phone with a good built-in camera that I can use for recording. So if you guys have any recommendations, please leave them in a comment. Okay. So hello guys, this is Kahraba from English with Kahraba. I hope you guys are doing great today, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I upload every Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Cairo time. And I go live inconsistently. So I go live if every now and then. Sometimes the 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 goal is to go live Saturdays on the days that I don't upload. So I want to go live on Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. So this is the goal, and I hope that I achieve it soon. But until then, I'm gonna just go live whenever I'm free, like today, for example. So I didn't go live on Saturday because I wasn't free. I had a soccer game, and I was too exhausted to go live. But today I was free. But today I was free, so I decided to go live. And today we're gonna talk about traveling and transportation. I'm gonna share with you guys all of the words, uh, phrases, idioms that are related, or as many words as I can. I hope I do justice to the topic. Okay, so I can. It's fine. If I'm speaking too fast, let me know, guys. And if you guys understand what I'm saying, just let me know in the comments. Mm. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay. Just give me a second. Content. مساء النور والسرور. Good evening. Good evening. I'll be with you guys just in a minute. I lied when I said a second. And thank you guys for liking and sharing the live. حبيبي يا هيما. Okay, so let's talk about traveling. Are you guys ready to talk about traveling and transportation? Transportation worldwide, not just Egypt. I might share uh, my experience as an Egyptian, but the English words I'm gonna use are gonna be applied everywhere, not just in Egypt. So, without further ado, okay. First, so we can talk about the means of transportation. So the means of transportation is the way by which someone moves from one place to another. So it's called the means of transportation. Someone might ask you, which means of transportation do you use to go to work or to commute to work? And also commute is the verb that we use to talk about traveling that happens regularly. So like commute to work, for example. So how do you commute to work? This is like a typical question to ask someone. Like, how do you commute to work? So, and the person would answer, I take the train, I take the subway, I take a taxi, I take the bus, I walk if the workplace is nearby. I take, I ride my bicycle, I drive my car. So there are different ways that you can answer the question of how do you commute. So I want you guys to answer that question in the chat. Tell me, how do you commute to work? Do you take the train, the bus, the taxi, the plane, the ferry? So the ferry is like a ship, like a boat that takes you from one side of the river to the other side or the opposite side of the river. Motorcycle, you can ride your bicycle, motorcycle, you can drive a car to the workplace. And there are also other means of transportation, for example, the truck. you can you could be driving your truck to work, or your van, or your scooter. If you have a scooter, like an electric scooter, you can ride your scooter to work. So how do you guys commute to work? Please, you guys can answer by leaving a comment. Hi, hi, hi. So how do you guys commute? What means of transportation do you guys use? And KB, please leave your answer in the comments because I'm not gonna accept your invite. So the places are, so I'm gonna mention the places and the means of transportation that are associated with the places. So for example, the airport. So what means of transportation? Which vehicle or means of transportation would you guys find at an airport? Alemo. Nice. Yeah, okay, I guess. But it's not the main one. It's not the primary vehicle at the airport. I mean, Alemo will pick you up from outside the airport, like the departure gate or whatever, and then it will take you somewhere. But what's the mean of transportation associated with the airport? ممكن يا أشرف حاسس إن I've seen you before. ماشي. Airplanes. Okay, good. So airport, airplane. Okay. What about uh, bus stop? So which means of transportation? Um, we miss you, bro. Be safe. Thank you. Bus. Good job. And what else? The port. So which vehicle or means of transportation would you find at a port? شباب بلاش رخامة. Boat. Okay, so you can find a boat. What else? زي كمان. Ship. Okay, so you can find a boat, a ship. What else? There's there's something between the boat and the ship that you guys take or get on to get from one side of the river to the other side of the river. Thank you. المعدية اللي هي بقى in English. So it's the ferry. Ferry. مش فاكر. خلاص. Uh, what else? Okay, so railway station or train station. I guess the answer is like right there in the word. So what do you guys find? Which means of transportation would you guys find at a railway station or a train station? Train, good job. So you will find the train, you will take the train from the train station or the railway station. Okay, so we talked about we talked about the bus, that we take the bus from like the bus station or the bus stop. We can also take the train from the railway station. We can take the train from the train station. We talked about taking the ferry. We take the ferry from the port. We can also take the ship from the port, and okay, what else? I guess we've covered. So how do you guys commute to work or school? How do you guys go to school if you're still students? And what's your this is the first question. And the second question, what's your favorite means of transportation? Which means of transportation do you prefer? Do you like to take the subway, the train, the scooter? I like to take the scooter. I always order the Uber scooter whenever I want to go anywhere. Reason why? Because I live in a place that is very crowded. And in order for me to get around uh, without wasting a lot of time is by riding a scooter. It's a little bit risky, and sometimes like if I get unlucky and share a ride or like get a ride with a very crazy driver or captain, it like the trip feels very uh, scary. I once had a captain who would drive. He drove so fast, like I felt like that he was racing the other cars. And he gets very close to like he drives very close to the other cars, like bumper to he doesn't have a bumper, but like the bumper to bumper. So it's like here's his the like the front tire, and then the bumper of the other car is like literally a few centimeters away from him. This is very scary. And you would think I'm gonna stop riding scooters, but I haven't. I still enjoy. I mean, I don't enjoy it that much, but I still do it because it's the only way to get around the crowded areas. Okay, so back to the different places where we can take different rides or take different means of transportation. So we talked about the airport. At the airport, you can um, you can take the airplane or the aircraft. And when you go to the airport, you usually check in. So check in is a phrasal verb that we use, which means that you get inside or you get in something. You check in. Usually, like, you hand over your passport or whichever document. I think at the airport they would ask for your passport. So you hand over your passport, they check it, and then they let you in. And then you go at the airport. They have different terminals, I think. They're called like terminals. So each terminal is like a big lane. Because there are multiple airplanes at the airport, so you have different terminals, each for each airplane. And the equivalent to a terminal at the bus station, for example, would be, or at the train station would be, for example, the platform. So at the train station, you have different platforms, or you have different platforms, yeah. So you have like platform number one that has trains that go to whichever direction, and then you have platform number whatever that where trains go to like that part of the city or that part of the country. So you have platforms at the train station, and then you have terminals at the airport. Then you have one thing. So at the airport, you book a flight, for example. So we call the journey on an airplane a flight because you fly, you go. So we call it a flight, and the flight has like a departure time. So flights depart. Thank you, Ori. So flights depart means that the airplane leaves the airport and like flies in the air. Yeah, so we call this departure or depart. DEPART. I want to have a board where I can write like the different words I say, which makes it easy for people to. So yeah, so the flight or the airplane or the flight departs at, for example, 10 p.m. And the act of departing, like when the airplane leaves the ground, and goes up in the air, we call this takeoff. Like we say that the flight or the airplane takes off means it flies, it leaves the ground. And then when the airplane arrives in the other place, so like to the destination, we say that it lands. So the airplane goes like this, then the airplane lands in another place or the other country. Anyway, the place from which you leave, it's a departure, and your departure point, and then the place to which you're going is your destination. So when you stop a taxi, for example, or like you hail a taxi, they say like hail a taxi. So when you hail a taxi, and then he asks you what's your destination, so, or where you're going. So he's asking about the end point of the journey or the ride. And as we said that at the airport, the airplane or the ride, we call it a flight. When it comes to the taxis, the buses, we call it a ride. So you have a ride or you take a ride with a taxi or an air or a bus or a train. I don't know. I think train is a journey. I don't know. I don't know what we call the train is what ride. I don't think the train is a ride. Yeah, I'm not sure about the word that collocates with train. And if you take a journey in the sea, we call this voyage. So we call it a voyage. So if your journey is on ground, it's a journey. If it's in the sea, then we call it a voyage. If it's in the air, we call it a flight. The person, and you would describe yourself, the one who books the flight ticket, the one who takes the or orders the ride, the one who stops the taxi, the one who gets on the bus, for example. You are a passenger. You are a commuter or a passenger. If you do this every day, then it like or daily or regularly, we call you a commuter. But if you do it every now and then you are a passenger. And because you're done passing from one place or like going from one place to another, you are a passenger. And the person who is responsible for the vehicle or for like leading or controlling the vehicle, we might call that person a pilot if it's a train, if it's an airplane. So the person who controls the airplane, who directs the airplane, is a pilot. The person who controls or drives the car is the taxi driver, for example, or the Uber driver. And the person or the bus driver, if it's a bus, or train. I don't know, like train driver. Do we say? Wow, train driver. I think it's train driver. Let me check. First, I wanted to ask about a journey. What do you, hey, what do you call a journey by train in English? Train ride. Okay, so it's a train ride or like a train journey. Both are fine. Or train trip. Okay, so all three are fine. Okay. And what do you call the driver of the train? I think it's a train driver. Engineer, locomotive engineer, train driver in the United Kingdom. Okay, it's been engine driver, train driver. I think it's a train driver. I'm gonna stick with train driver. I think it's easy. But there you also have engine driver. You have engineer. Um, in US they call it locomotive engineer. Okay, locomotive engineer. Good. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Okay. I know of locomotive and I know of engineer, but I didn't know that the person driving the train is called locomotive engineer. Good to know. One of the things I like about going live is that I don't prepare that much. Like a big part of the live is improvised, and I get to learn things on the fly. So that's good. Alright, so back to travel vocabulary. Okay, this one. So we talked about airport, talked about bus station and train station. We talked about the port, and oh, when it comes to the port, so the port is like it's like a station, but it's in the sea or like by the sea. Uh, so it's like a bus station, but it's for boats, ferries, and ships, and we call it a port. Port. So a port is a place where the ships uh, are parked. I mean, we don't say park with a ship. I think we say anchor. So uh, the buses at the bus station are parked, okay? But the ships are anchored because the anchor is like it's a metallic thing that they drop in the water to keep the ship from moving. Uh, so it's called so the ships are anchored at the port, or like the ferries are anchored at the port. زي كده. And then that when the ship leaves or departs from from the port, we call it sail. So they sailed, or yeah, they sailed. Okay. يا رب دايما. Okay. So we talked about the airplane, the taking off. The airplane takes off when it goes up, and the bus, the train, the taxi, they drive, and then the ship or the boat sail. So they sail, and we talked about the places, talked about the port, the bus station, the train station. We talked about the people who control these vehicles. We call them the bus driver, for example, for the airplane, the pilot, and for the taxi driver, bus driver, train driver, or locomotive engineer, and the person who uses the means of transportation, the person who is a guest, we call him. Uh, Thank you, Gaia. So we call him a passenger. Ta-da, ta-da. ربنا يعزك ايه. اوكي. يلا خير يا يارس، خير. يعني بقى خلاص بقى. اوكي ف توك توك station, they have a garage. I think tuk tuks have a garage. They don't have a station. Yeah, they have a garage. And I've never seen like a tuk tuk station. I've seen a garage or or yeah, what is it? But most tuk tuks are parked around the corner. Like they will go to the corner of a street, like a major street or a street where a lot of passengers pass by, and they park there. They park their vehicles there. We talked about scooters and the different verbs. So we talked about you travel by train. So like I travel by train, or I commute to work. I commute means like I use a means of transportation to get to work. So we call this commute, commute. I thank you guys. Yes, the researcher. أحلى ميوت. ماشي. We talked about the airplane taking off when it goes up. We talked about the airplane landing when it lands. We talked about the you get on something or get in something. So the difference between you get on and get in is how big the transportation mode is, or like the mode of transportation that you're using. So if you're using, let's say, a bus, so it's big, so you get on the bus. If you can stand, if you can move, if you can walk around in this means of transportation, then we can say that you get on. I get on. I get on the airplane. I get on the bus. I get on the train. But if it's like tiny and you can just sit there and you can't move around, we call this we use get in. So I get in the taxi. I get in the car, for example. I get in the van. Hello, Muhab. And the act of leaving the vehicle is to get out. So I get out of the car. I get out of the van. But if you ride, like if you get on, then you get off. So for example, if you get on the train, then when you leave, you get off the train. And if you get on the airplane, then you get off the airplane. And if you get on the bike, you get off the bike. If you get on the bus, you get off the bus. So another way, another word that we use with airplanes, when you get on the airplane, we say board. I boarded the plane. You say like I boarded the plane. Instead of saying I get on the plane, I boarded the plane. Uh, Another one you can use, and it's like more formal, you can say embark. Bark, B-A-R-K. So you can say I embarked on, or I disembarked, means I left, like I get off, or I get out of. So we said drive, like car drive, airplane flies, boat sail, car ride, cycling if it's a bicycle, you walk. Um, I guess that's it. Okay. So if you, when you wanna go from, let's say that you order a taxi or you order an Uber to go somewhere, you can say that the place from which you're going to leave is your pickup point. And I guess if you guys use, if you set the Uber application to English, I think it will show you where you depart, pickup, your pickup place or pickup location, and the place that to which you're going. Hello, Nemo. And the place to which you're going is drop off. So you can say, please, like if you have a friend who's gonna pick you up, you can say like, please pick me up from. So pick me up means like, come and take me. ازيك يا استاذ صامولي حبيبي. Oh, I can see. Okay, so you can say that I want you to pick me up from this place, means like I want you to take me from this place. So let's say that your friend has a car, you don't have a car, and you guys want to go somewhere. So you can say my friend is gonna pick me up, means he's gonna take me by his car from one place, for example, your home. And so please pick me up from my home, and he's gonna drop you off, means he's gonna leave you. He's gonna kick you out of the car, hopefully not. He's gonna get you out of the car at a different place. So pick up and drop off. When a vehicle stops working in a bad way, like it doesn't stop working because I stopped it, but it just stopped working in a bad way, we call this breakdown. So let's say that you drive in your car on the road, and your car decided to stop. Yes, pick me up and drop me off. Yes. You can also use it literally, like for someone to pick you off and then to drop you, but not off, like drop you. So you can say my car broke down, means my car stopped working. Download me here, exactly. So instead of saying download me here, you can say drop me off. It's a better way. It's a more English. It's a more English way to say it. You can say drop me off. And breakdown, if the car breaks down, means it stops working. My boss. Sorry for being late. My boss at work. My boss, bro. And this is okay. This is a good pronunciation lesson. So you have the word bus, B-U-S, and then you have the word boss, B-O-S-S. If you're not careful with these two vowel sounds, short vowel sounds, then you're gonna confuse them and you're gonna misuse them. So like I just did when I said my boss broke down. I mean, if you say your boss broke down, it means that the manager at work, broke down, like he's very angry, he's very mad, he lost it. Maybe he broke up or someone ate his lunch. But if you say my bus broke down or my car broke down, it means that the means of transportation that you use to get to your destination stopped working. You can, if you want to say that you are on your way to work, but there are a lot of cars on the road and you're kind of stuck, you can say I'm stuck in traffic. Means Like you are literally stuck, stuck, which means that you can't move. You are stuck in traffic. So you're late to work, or you're late for work. You're late for work, and then your boss calls you because you're late, and he says, "Where are you?" You can say, "Sorry, boss, I'm stuck in traffic." Means my car um that can't move because there is too much traffic, and I can't move because other cars are like kind of parked. um what else? I think I've covered. I mean, do you guys have any questions? Any questions that you guys have? Wow. Do you guys have any questions? I'm just waiting for like 4 more minutes to be 40 minutes, and then I'm gonna end the stream. So if you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask. Do you guys have any questions about transportation and traveling? I just covered. Yes. بالتفايح ذو فكار. I know you. أحلى ميوت عليك هذا. ماشي. Yes, I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna end live in like in a few minutes. Abu Dahr, how are you, brother? Where have you been? Because I finished, and I mean it's I don't have that much to say, so I just if you guys have any questions about transportation, about traveling, uh, we can actually talk about traveling. But I have a session in like 12:15, I think, like in long time no life. I know. I'll try to be more consistent. I promise. I'll try to be more consistent. Uh, but I've been busy. Uh, Hi, do you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask before I end the live? Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the live when you watch it back or when you watch it for the first time. If you're gonna watch it for the first time. Alright, you guys have a good night and I'll see you guys next time. And I'm gonna end the live in 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys for being here. And see you next time, probably.